Some cars are remembered for changing the industry forever, while others are remembered for the headaches they caused their creators. From design disasters to financial black holes, automakers have built machines they would rather forget, even if history has turned them into legends. In this video, we'll explore the stories behind 10 legendary cars that automakers regretted building. From Pontiac's bold but awkward Aztek to the futuristic DeLorean DMC-12, the infamous Ford Edsel, and even the record-shattering Bugatti Veyron, these vehicles left lasting marks on car culture for reasons their companies never intended. Each one proves that being legendary doesn't always mean being successful. Sometimes it means being unforgettable for all the wrong reasons. In the number 10 position, we have the Pontiac Aztek, a car that went down in history as one of GM's biggest design gambles. Launched in 2001, the Aztek was supposed to attract adventurous young buyers with its bold looks and practical features like camping gear and a built-in cooler. Instead, its strange, angular styling left people scratching their heads, and sales were far below expectations. But here's the twist. While Pontiac regretted building it, the Aztek later became a cult legend. Its rugged utility was ahead of its time, predicting today's crossover craze. And thanks to its starring role in Breaking Bad, it found a second life as an icon of quirky design. If you look back at the 2004 model, it offered reliability improvements that made it the most recommended year. Forgotten then, celebrated now. The Aztek proves that regret can still create legend. In the number 9 position, we have the AMC Pacer, introduced in 1975 and often nicknamed the Flying Fishbowl. AMC poured its heart into this compact car, aiming to create something futuristic with wide glass panels, a roomy interior, and a design unlike anything else on the road. At first glance, it looked bold, even daring, but in practice, it was a gamble that backfired. The Pacer was heavy, thirsty, and poorly timed. Arriving during the oil crisis, its wide body and underwhelming fuel economy clashed with the era's demand for efficiency. Sales never met expectations, and AMC's finances took a hit. Yet, looking back, the Pacer was strangely brilliant. Its airy cabin and radical styling gave it character, and pop culture later revived it as a quirky classic. The 1977 model year is often seen as the most refined. AMC may have regretted it, but the Pacer became unforgettable. In the number 8 position, we have the DeLorean DMC-12, the stainless steel dream car that turned into a nightmare for its creator. Launched in 1981, it looked like something straight out of the future with gull-wing doors and brushed metal bodywork. On paper, it was destined to be a legend. In reality, quality issues, weak performance, and massive financial problems nearly destroyed John DeLorean's company. Despite its struggles, the DMC-12's design was unforgettable. It had presence, style, and ambition, qualities that few cars of its era could match. The 1982 model is often recommended by enthusiasts because it benefited from minor improvements to reliability. And while DeLorean himself might have regretted building it, the car's starring role in Back to the Future transformed it into a global icon. What began as a financial disaster became one of the most legendary and instantly recognizable cars ever made. In the number 7 position, we have the Ford Edsel, often remembered as one of the biggest flops in automotive history. Launched in 1957 with huge hype, Ford spent millions marketing it as the car of the future. But when it finally hit showrooms, buyers were stunned, and not in a good way. Its oversized grille, nicknamed the horse collar, became a running joke, and sales collapsed almost instantly. The Edsel wasn't a bad car mechanically, but its timing and image doomed it. Arriving during a recession with styling that didn't connect with the public, Ford lost an estimated $350 million, a staggering amount for the era. Still, the Edsel has since gained cult status as a symbol of bold but risky innovation. Collectors today often recommend the 1959 Ranger model for its improved design. A regret for Ford, but a legend in automotive history. In the number 6 position, we have the Chrysler TC by Maserati, a car born from a partnership that sounded exciting on paper but ended up being one of Chrysler's biggest regrets. Released in 1989, it was meant to combine Italian style with American practicality, creating a luxurious two-seater roadster. Instead, it looked far too much like a Chrysler LeBaron, a cheaper car sitting in the same showroom. Buyers didn't see why they should pay nearly twice the price for what felt like a dressed-up version of something they could already get for less. Sales flopped, and Chrysler's prestige took a hit. Yet, the TC had some bright spots. Its hand-stitched Italian leather interior and Maserati-tuned turbocharged engine gave it flair. Enthusiasts often highlight the 1990 model as the best year for reliability. A noble idea, but one Chrysler surely regretted the moment the sales numbers came in. In the number 5 position, we have the Volkswagen Phaeton, a car that proved even brilliance can be a mistake. Launched in 2002, the Phaeton was VW's bold attempt to break into the ultra-luxury segment, competing with Mercedes, BMW, and even Bentley. It was hand-built with extraordinary attention to detail, featuring double-pane windows, a cabin quieter than most Rolls-Royces, and tech far ahead of its time. The problem? It wore a Volkswagen badge. Buyers couldn't justify paying Bentley-level money for a car from the same brand that made the Golf. Despite its engineering excellence, sales were disastrous, and VW lost staggering amounts of money on the project. The 2004 model is often praised for its blend of cutting-edge features and durability. While the Phaeton has since gained respect among enthusiasts, Volkswagen regretted building a car that was simply too good and too expensive for its own badge. In the number 4 position, we have the Cadillac Cimarron, a car that nearly destroyed Cadillac's reputation in the 1980s. Introduced in 1982, the Cimarron was rushed into production to compete with small European luxury sedans. The problem? It was basically a rebadged Chevrolet Cavalier with a much higher price tag. Buyers quickly saw through the disguise, and Cadillac's image of prestige and exclusivity took a huge hit. On the surface, it offered leather seats, upgraded trim, and Cadillac's badge, but under the skin, it drove and felt just like its budget Chevy twin. Critics tore it apart, calling it one of the worst examples of badge engineering in history. Enthusiasts often point to the 1985 model as the best of a bad lot, thanks to minor improvements. While Cadillac hoped to capture a new market, the Cimarron became a legendary regret that the company still hasn't fully lived down. In the number 3 position, we have the Mercedes-Benz R-Class, a car that left even Mercedes scratching its head. Introduced in 2005, the R-Class was pitched as a luxury sports tourer, something between an SUV, a minivan, and a wagon. On paper, it was supposed to be the ultimate family luxury car. In reality, buyers didn't know what to make of it, and neither did Mercedes. The design was awkward, too bulky to be sleek, and too low to compete with SUVs. Despite having a plush interior, strong V6 and V8 engines, and Mercedes-level safety, it failed to connect with its target audience. Sales were so disappointing that it became one of the brand's worst-selling models. Enthusiasts point to the 2007 R-Class as the most reliable year, but even then it never escaped its odd identity. Mercedes built it with ambition, but ultimately regretted the experiment. In the number 2 position we have the Chevrolet Corvair, a car that started with innovation but ended in controversy. Launched in 1960, the Corvair broke the mold with its rear-mounted air-cooled flat-six engine and sleek European-inspired design. GM wanted to rival cars like the Volkswagen Beetle and Porsche 356, and at first it seemed like a brilliant idea. But then came the backlash. Consumer advocate Ralph Nader targeted the Corvair in his book Unsafe at Any Speed, accusing it of dangerous handling. Although later studies showed the car wasn't as unsafe as claimed, the damage was done. Sales plummeted, and the Corvair became a stain on GM's reputation. The 1965 model is often remembered as the best year, thanks to improved suspension and styling updates. Despite its flaws, the Corvair was ahead of its time, a car GM once regretted but history now views as daring. In the number 1 position we have the Bugatti Veyron, a car hailed as one of the greatest hypercars ever built. Yet one Volkswagen deeply regretted. Launched in 2005, the Veyron stunned the world with its 1,001 horsepower quad, turbo W16 engine, and a top speed over 250 miles per hour. It shattered records and redefined what a road car could be. But here's the catch. Every single Veyron sold cost Volkswagen more to build than its million-dollar price tag. The engineering was mind-blowing, but the economics were disastrous. Developing its cooling systems, tires, and gearbox pushed costs into the stratosphere. VW reportedly lost millions on each unit, making the Veyron less a profit maker and more a prestige project. The 2011 Supersport edition is often considered the best, delivering even more speed and refinement. Legendary? Absolutely. But for Volkswagen, the Veyron was an achievement they admired and financially regretted.